Yes, welcome back to the next session of Design of Pre-Stressed Concrete Elements course. From the last session, we were discussing regarding the load balancing concept. So till now, you people have come across analyzing the PSC section using a stress concept, analyzing the PSC section using load balancing concept. So till now we have discussed or came to know how to analyze the sections or whatever the PSC beams by using stress concept and the load balancing concept. So from this session onwards, we are going to learn a one more concept or one more method to analyze the stresses, that is pressure line concept. Okay, so from this session onwards, we'll look into the analysis of stresses in PSC beam using pressure line concepts. So let us know what is that. So this pressure line is also called as thrust line, or it is also called as C line. Okay, so it will be called with a different names. So let me define what is the meaning of pressure line or thrust line. See, consider in any given section of a PSC beam. Okay, if I'm going to consider a PSC beam, so that PSC beam having a combined effect of pre-stressing force and the externally applied load. So hope you know that. So when a PSC beam is subjected to, okay, the two forces, one is pre-stressing force, another one is externally applied load, that is live load and the dead load. So because of these two things, it will results in distribution of stresses, that is concrete stresses, so that can be resolved into a single force. Okay, so this can be resolved into a single force. So the locus or the point of application of this resultant force in any structure is termed as pressure line or thrust line. So this pressure line is the point, okay, or a line in which the resultant of these two, that is the pre-stressing force and externally applied load, will act. Okay, so that particular line is called pressure line or thrust line. Is it clear? So next, the concept of pressure line is very useful in understanding load carrying mechanism of a PSCB. Okay, so this load carrying is going to happen. So in that, okay, perspective, so this pressure line will, okay, useful. Okay, so we'll repeat. So when the PSC beam is subjected to the effect of pre-stressing force and externally applied load, because of these two things, it will undergo or it will create a stresses. So that, okay, will be resolved into a single force, and that single force, which is called resultant force, okay, that will be acting at a particular point. Okay, so that point or line in a structure is called pressure line or thrust line. Okay, so next we will learn, okay, how to locate all those things in detail. Okay, so in the case of PSC member, the location of pressure line depends on, okay, in the case of PSC member, location of pressure line depends upon the magnitude and direction of the moment, applied at the cross section, and magnitude and distribution of stress due to pre-stressing force. So this location of pressure line will vary, okay, based upon these two things. One is magnitude and direction of the moments applied at the cross section, and magnitude and distribution of stresses due to pre-stressing force. So based on these two, the pressure line may vary in the PSC member or the cross section of a beam. So in order to explain these concept, let me consider a concrete beam. Okay, let me consider a concrete beam. So this is a concrete beam as shown in figure, which is pre-stressed by a force P. Okay, you can see. And this is the straight cable having an eccentricity E. Okay, and this eccentricity is given by the distance h by 6. Okay, h by 6 is the eccentricity distance. Okay. The beam supports a uniformly distributed load, which includes both, okay, that is self-weight. That means this indicates whatever the load that is acting on the beam, okay, which indicates, okay, WD plus WL. So indicates both. So both the load are acting as UDL. So this is acting as a UDL, okay, kilonewton per meter. WD plus WL, kilonewton per meter, is acting on the beam, and this will be the centroidal axis, okay, because it is a rectangular section, okay. So hence the symmetry will lie, or a central axis lie exactly at the center. And this will be the straight cable have been provided, and this will be the eccentricity, okay, having a distance h by 6, okay. And next, so this will be the span L, okay. So now how the stress will distribute at various parts of the section or various span, okay, so that has been written in this, okay, along with okay, the pressure line indication at various span, okay. So till now we used to draw the stress distribution at the various span. Apart from this stress distribution, I have also shown the pressure line, okay, where exactly it is acting, okay. So for this, okay, let me know. So now you can see at the support section, the stress distribution is like this. Okay, it is 0 at the top, okay, and it will be having a, okay, the distribution, okay, at the bottom. Why? Okay, I will be explaining. At the support, since there are no flexural stresses resulting from the external load, because you know that, okay, whatever the beam, okay, that means the PSC beam which is subjected to external load, okay, at the support no flexural stresses will be developed, okay, no flexural stresses will be developed, because it will be 0, the moment will be 0, okay, at the supports, moment will be 0 at the support, which indicates, okay, no moments will be created due to the external load, okay, hence the flexural stresses also will be 0. Because of this, you can see this will be the stress distribution. So hence, apart from the stress distribution, one more thing, the pressure line coincides with that of centroid of the steel located at an eccentricity of h by 6. So please observe here. So this is the stress distribution, okay, and this will be the your centroidal axis. What I can say, this will be the centroidal axis, okay. So now please observe. So this P indicates, okay, the pre-stressing force induced through the, okay, cables, that is central axis of a steel, okay, and this will be the eccentricity distance. We know from the, okay, stress concept that any distance, that is the distance between the central axis of the section to the pre-stressing force induced, will be called as eccentricity, and those eccentricity is given by h by 6. Is it clear? So the distance will be h by 6. And let me go with the, in this particular session, the location of this pressure line or thrust line. Please observe here. So as I stated, because of the effect of pre-stressing force and the external load, the pressure line or the point of application, that way, okay, here you can see, so this will be the pressure line. So this will be the pressure line, okay, or the force or the thrust that will be acting, okay. So here the pressure line, okay, and the central axis of the steel, that means the resultant force which is acting through the pressure line or thrust line or the C line is coinciding with the pressure, with the coinciding with the pre-stressing force or central axis of a steel. So please note down, I will repeat once again. At the support section, the pre-stressing force which is passing through the central axis of the steel and pressure line will coincide. Why? Because at the support section, no flexural stresses will be developed, and this P and this thrust line, okay, both will coincide, okay, and the distance will be eccentricity with the distance h by 6. So this is regarding your support section pressure line, okay, location. So that's what I've been written at the support section. Since there are no flexural stresses resulting from the external load, the pressure line coincides with that of centroidal of a steel. So this will be the center of the steel, located at an eccentricity of h by 6. Okay, so this is regarding your support section. So let me move on to the next. So now this will be the stress distribution. Okay, this will be the stress distribution at mid span. Okay, it will be more compressive stresses at the top. Okay, that means compressive, and always try to minimize the tensile stresses at the bottom. So this will be the stress distribution. Okay, and this will be the pre-stressing force, okay, that will be acting, because throughout the section it is acting at the same distance, that is h by 6, h by 6, h by 6. You can see at the support, at the mid span, at the quarter span, okay, at all the distance you can see, okay, so this will be the eccentricity distance that will be acting. Next, we'll move on to the next. Now the very important thing, at the center of the span, the external load is such that the resultant stresses developed is maximum at the top fiber and zero at the bottom fiber. That's what, maximum at the top fiber and zero at the bottom fiber. Next, it can be easily seen that for this section, pressure line has been shifted towards the top fiber by an amount equal to h by 3 from its initial position. So please note here, so as I stated, this will be the, okay, the pre-stressing force induced through the central axis of the steel. Now, whatever the thrust line or pressure line which was there at the support section, which was coinciding at the support section, which has been shifted, here. Okay, so this will be the, okay, the pressure line or the resultant force. Sorry, this is the resultant force. Okay, and this will be the pressure line. Okay, so this is the locus of point of application of this resultant force, or this will be the pressure line. Okay, and this will be the central axis of the steel line, and this will be the central axis of a section. Is it clear? So now whatever the thrust line or pressure line which was coinciding at support section has been shifted, okay, with a distance, okay, with a distance h by 3 from the initial position. So now this distance is h by 3. So please note down. So this distance is h by 3. So it is h by 3. Okay, it has been shifted with the same distance from the central axis of the section, that is h by 6 plus h by 6, that is 2h by 6, that is h by 3. Okay, h by 6 plus h by 6, that is 2h by 3, sorry, 2h by 6, which indicates, okay, h by 3, which indicates h by 3. Next, coming to the quarter span section, okay, I hope you came to know what is the central span section. Let me move to the quarter span section. So here also same, so please observe. So now, so this will be the pre-stressing force that is acting at a distance h by 6. Next, the external moment at the quarter span section being smaller in magnitude, the shift in the pressure line also is correspondingly smaller, being equal to h by 4 from the initial position. So now this particular pressure line has been shifted, okay, with a distance, okay, with a distance as it state h by 4. So this distance is h by 4. So this distance is h by 4. So this distance is h by 4 from the initial position, and so this will be your pressure line or resultant force that is acting. Okay, so now you can see or observe, because the quarter span section, the magnitude is smaller. So please observe the shift is also, okay, lesser than this. That means whatever the distance it has been shifted from this point, that is initial position, to this, okay, comparing to the central span section at the quarter span section, the shift is very lesser distance, that is h by 4. That is h by 6 plus h by 12. Okay, that is h by 4, which is equal to h by 4. Is it clear? So like that, okay, I've been located the pressure line for support section, for central span section, for quarter span section when the beam is subjected to the external load. Okay, so like this, I need to, okay, I've been showcased how the resultant force that will be acting at various span, that is support, central span and quarter span section. So next, I've, I've been, okay, located this. You can see how to locate this. Okay, please observe here. Okay, this is very important. So this is a PSC beam. Okay, this is a PSC beam. And next, this will be the mid span. Okay, this will be the mid span. So this will be the quarter span, 1/4 of L. So there also it is quarter span, 1/4 of L. Okay. Next, let me move on to this. Okay. So this we already know, this will be the eccentricity of the cable, that is tendon has been placed, and this will be the central axis. Okay, and now this will be the eccentricity distance, that is h by 6, h by 6. Okay, at support, at quarter span, at mid span, at, okay, it is uniform throughout, it is uniform throughout. So now how to mark the pressure line for this? So you can see here, you can see here, okay, how I have been marked. Okay, how to mark this pressure line. So we need to start from this point. Okay, you can see, because while analyzing the problem, you need to draw the pressure line also. So this will be the pressure line. So we are going to indicate the pressure line with the parabolic variations. Okay, and as I stated, so this has been shifted from central axis by h by 12, and this has been shifted from the central span or central axis at mid span h by 6. And as I stated, the total distance, okay, which it has been shifted, is h by 3. So this distance is h by 3, h by 3, okay, and here it is h by 4, okay. So that means, okay, I am going to indicate this, okay, h by 6 as eccentricity, and these things, that is h by 12 and h by 6 as E dash. So let me notate these things by E dash. Is it clear? So h by 6 is E dash at mid span, h by 12, okay, which is E dash at quarter span. Okay. So like this, we need to locate the pressure line, and this will be the distance at quarter span, or total distance. The total distance which comprises of eccentricity plus the pressure line distance. Okay, eccentricity plus the shift of pressure line distance. So I can say, let me notate the distance as A, which is equal to E plus E dash. E plus E dash. Okay, so this will be the distance we need to calculate while analyzing the problem. Okay, so this total distance is called A. Okay, so let me know, okay, further. So the observation lead to the following important principle, fine. So now, let me consider one more figure. The figure shows the free body diagram of a segment of a beam. So that means have been considered one particular beam. Okay. Next, I've been consider the two cases here. One is without any transverse load and one is with transverse load. You can see here. I've not been subjected to any external load here. Okay, here I've been subjected to a load of, okay, WO kilonewton per meter. That is UDM. Next, when the gravity loads are zero, when there is no loads are acting, the C and T line coincides. So please observe what is that C line. Okay, please observe. So T line means the pre-stressing force or the tensile force line which coincides with the C line or thrust line. So that's what I've been explained. Okay, this case will come across at support section. At support section, you will come across this thing. So as I stated, at support section, okay, since there are no flexural stresses developed, the pre-stressing force and the pressure line will coincide. So that's what they have been written here. So that is this T line. T line means that is the central axis of a steel line, and P line or C line means that is thrust line. So both will coincide. So when it is not subjected to any external load. So especially at the support section, since there are no flexural stresses developed, so both the lines will coincide. Next, since, okay, under transverse load, the C line or center of pressure line is at varying distance, which is A. That is, see, observe here. So when it is subjected to this, okay, so this will be the pre-stressing force line, okay, which has been induced, and whatever the C line or the pressure line which was coinciding when there were no transverse load, which has been shifted with a distance A, okay, which has been shifted with a distance A, okay, that A is equal to eccentricity plus shift of the pressure line from the centroidal axis. Okay, the E dash means shift of the pressure line or resultant force from the centroidal axis of the section. That is E dash. And E, we already know that it is the distance between the centroidal axis of the section to the pre-stressing force acting. So this total distance is denoted by A. Okay, so let me know that. So the shift of the pressure line E dash, okay, from the central axis. So now, if M is the bending moment at the section due to dead load and live load, you can see here. So this is the moment that is going to happen. Okay, that will happen due to the dead load and the live load. Next, E is the eccentricity, we already know. T is the pre-stressing force in the tendon. Okay, so this is the pre-stressing force that is applied in the tendon. Next, applying the moment equilibrium condition or relation. Okay, M is equal to, okay, M is equal to C multiplied by A. So let me take a moment here. Okay, M is equal to C multiplied by A. So that is C, that is the P line force, that is resultant force multiplied by the corresponding distance from this particular, okay, moment center. Okay, so I'm going to calculate the moment of this particular force from this initial end. So that is C multiplied by A. Okay, so like that, I'm going to equate the tensile force A, that is TA, and also which is equal to PA. Okay, so therefore that is I've equated C line and T line. Okay, hence, so we already know that, okay, T is nothing but the pressure line, that is the pressure pre-stressing force. Hence, M is equal to PA. It can be written as T can be replaced by P. Okay, because you already know that T is equal to P. Hence, okay, PA. So therefore, what is A? A is equal to M by P. A is equal to M by P. So by applying moment equilibrium condition, you have calculated the distance of A. So this A distance is nothing but shift of pressure line from the, okay, the centroidal axis of the steel. So now, okay, you can see the shift of the pressure line from the centroidal axis of the steel is E plus E dash. E plus E dash. Okay, is it clear? So therefore, the shift of pressure line. Now, if you know A, how to calculate E dash, you know the principle that, okay, A is equal to E plus E dash. A is equal to E plus E dash. Therefore, if you want E dash, A minus E. So E dash is nothing but that is shift of pressure line from the centroidal axis. So please be careful. There is a lot of difference between E dash and A. A is the shift of pressure line from centroidal axis of the steel. E dash is the shift of a pressure line from the centroidal axis of the section. So please note this point. Okay, therefore E dash is equal to A minus E, where A is nothing but M by P minus E. Okay, because in the problem we need to calculate this E dash, A, all those things. Okay, so we need to clearly know what is the meaning of A, what is the meaning of E dash, and what is the meaning of E. So hope the concept has been clarified. Okay, because I've been explained with the diagram. Is it clear? Okay, fine. So now for this pressure line, okay, if you want to calculate the stresses, if you want to calculate the stresses for a PSC beam using pressure line or thrust line or C line concept, then the resultant stresses at the top and bottom fiber can be calculated using this formula. So that is F superior is equal to P by A plus P dash by ZT. F inferior is equal to P by A minus P into E dash by ZB. So please be careful, it is E dash. Shift of pressure line from the centroidal axis of the section. So that you need to substitute here. Okay, so like this, we are going to calculate the resultant stresses at top and bottom for a PSC beam, okay, at any section, okay, using pressure line concept. Okay, so hope the concept has been clarified. Okay, so like this, we are going to locate and we are going to calculate the pressure line, okay, or C line. Is it clear? So hope the concept has been clarified. So I'm going to solve a small problem on this. Okay, let me go ahead with a small problem. So let me consider this. A PSC beam with a rectangular section, 120 mm wide, 300 mm deep, supports a UDL of 4 kilonewton per meter, which includes self weight of the beam. So you need to be very careful regarding this. Okay, in the examination also. Okay, the effective span of the beam is 6 meter. The beam is concentrically pre-stressed by a cable carrying a force of 180 kilonewton. For this, okay, he is saying locate the position of pressure line in the beam. Locate the position of pressure line in the beam. So for the given beam, okay, you need to calculate E dash, okay, because E is already been, okay, they have been given, okay, you need to calculate E dash and you need to calculate A, and then you need to locate those things on the PSC beam. So let us go ahead. So P is 180 kilonewton, they have been given. Okay, eccentricity is 0. Why? Why it is 0? Because it is concentrically pre-stressed. That means the whatever the pre-stressing force which is induced through the cable will be coinciding with the centroidal axis of the section, hence eccentricity is 0. Next, cross-sectional area. Okay, coming to the cross-sectional area. So the cross-sectional area A is equal to 120 multiplied by 300, because you know that the cross-section of the beam is, this is 120, okay, and this is 300. This is 120 and this is 300, and this will be the central axis. Okay, and this will be the y top and y bottom distance, that is 150, because it is symmetry. Okay, so now 120 into 300, that is 36 10 to the power of 3 millimeter square. Next, moment of inertia, since it is a rectangular section, BD cube by 12 is the formula, 120 into 300 cube by 12, which is equal to 270 into 10 to the power of 6 millimeter to the power of 4. Next, ZT and Z bottom, ZT and Z bottom, which is nothing but I divided by Y, I divided by Y, okay, which is, okay, 217 into the power of 6 divided by 150. Okay, the answer will be 1.8 into the power of 6. And the very important thing you need to note down here, the external load, sorry, the total load acting on the beam, which includes self-weight, that is WD plus W is equal to 4 kilonewton per meter. So since it is a UDL, I'm going to calculate the bending moment, okay, using this formula. Why? So in this problem, you please observe nowhere they have been mentioned at which particular span. So hence I'm going to calculate the bending moment at center of the span, which is WL square by 8. That is 4 into 6 square by 8, which is 18 kilonewton meter. Is it clear? Next. Okay, you can calculate what is P by A. Okay, that is 180 10 to the power of 3. Okay, divided by 36 10 to the power of 4. Okay, that 5 Newton per millimeter square. Next, no need of this. Okay, no need of this. Okay, and no need of this. Okay, because, okay, so these things are required in the stress concept. Now, after calculating the P by A, okay, we want what is the value of P dash by Z. Okay, what is the value of P dash by Z? Okay, so which we are going to calculate later, because, okay, we need to calculate the stresses at bottom and top. Okay, we need to calculate this E dash distance. Okay, how to calculate that? So let us go ahead. So we know that shift of pressure line from the cable, okay, which is A is equal to, what is the A? Okay, so that A is nothing but the shift of pressure line from the centroidal axis of the cable or cable line is equal to M divided by P. Okay, substitute the M in Newton millimeter, okay, which has already been calculated, and pre-stressing force in Newton, which will get you 100 millimeter. Is it clear? So now you have been calculated the distance of this. Okay. So now please note down. Okay. So please note down. Okay. So this will be the PSC beam. Okay. This will be the PSC beam. Next. Coming to this. Okay. E dash. Okay. So coming to this E dash. So please note down here. So this will be your PSC beam. So this will be your PSC beam. This will be your central axis. So please observe carefully. Okay. And now since E is 0, okay, since E is 0, so we know from the formula that A is equal to E plus E dash. Am I right? Am I right? So now since E is 0, A will become equal to E dash. So hence the pressure line distance, one second, the pressure line distance I'm going to locate like this. So this will be your pressure line distance. Okay, that means A, this is also 100 mm, which have been calculated here, which is equal to E dash. Why? Because here E is 0. Because of concentric pre-stressing, okay, A is equal to E dash. So I've been showcased, okay, the pressure line, because in the problem is asking locate the pressure line in the PSC beam. I have been located the pressure line. So apart from this, we need to calculate the stresses for this. So how to calculate the stresses for this? So please calculate the stresses for this. That is F superior is equal to P by A, okay, plus PE dash by Z top, okay. So this formula, okay, substitute that. So you know what is P by A, 5, okay, or P you already know, substitute everything. You will get F superior equal to, you know what is the P, you know what is the A, you know what is pre-stressing force, you know Z, and E dash also you know, that is 100 mm because it is equal to A. So you will get 15 Newton per millimeter square. Please check the answer by substituting. Okay, please check the answer by substituting. So please check once after substituting. So next, F inferior, which is equal to P by A minus P dash by Z bottom. So now you need not to worry about Z top and Z bottom because it is a symmetrical section. Substitute all the entities, you will get minus 5 Newton per millimeter square. Minus 5 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, that means tensile. So for this, you can see this will be the resultant stress diagram. 15 at the top, okay, and 5 at the bottom. Okay, so please okay, like this you need to calculate, okay, because I've been worked out here stress concept also. Okay, so that's why I've been scratched here. Okay, that's why I've been scratched here. This is a stress concept, so please follow pressure line formula. Okay, use the pressure line formula. Is it clear? Okay, so and another important thing, please note down. So nowhere in the problem they have been mentioned to calculate the stresses, but in examination you should calculate the stresses apart from calculating the pressure line. Is it clear? Okay, so let me go ahead with one more problem. So now the next problem says like this: a PSC beam of section 120 by 300 is used over an effective span of 6 meter, which supports UDL of 4 kilonewton meter, which includes again self-weight of the beam. The beam is pre-stressed by a straight cable carrying a force of 180 kilonewton, located at an eccentricity of 50 mm. In previous case, which was coinciding, now it has been placed at 50 mm eccentricity. Determine, so now determine the location of the thrust line in the beam and plot its position at quarter and central span section. Okay, so for that, how to locate that? How to locate that? Okay, let me go ahead. So first, write down the data. P is equal to 180 kilonewton, eccentricity is equal to 50 millimeter, and then cross-sectional area A is equal to 120 by 300. Why? Because it is a, they have been given, okay, this cross-sectional beam, that is 120 by 300. So that is 120 by 300. So this is the beam 120 by 300. So hence cross-sectional area is 120 by 36 10 to the power of 3. Then moment of inertia, same thing, BD cube by 12, no change. Z, which is equal to I divided by Y, where Y is 150 because of central axis lies at the center. Next, let me go ahead. So first, let me calculate P by A. We don't want this, okay, because we require these things in stress concept. We want, we want to solve the problem using pressure line concept. So no need of this. So P by A is equal to 180 10 to the power of 3 divided by cross-sectional area. Next, very important thing, calculating the bending moments because M is required. So M at center of the span, because he's asking, okay, the plot the pressure line both at quarter and central span, and so I'm going to calculate first at center of span. So that is WL square by 8, and please note down which includes here self weight also, that is 4 into 6 square by 8, 4 into 6 square by 8, which is 18 kilonewton meter. Okay, so once again cancel this. We don't want any, okay, the stresses here because I've been solved the problem using okay, the stress concept. Okay, so please don't follow this. Next, calculate the, okay, shift of pressure line from the midspan, that is A is equal to M by P. We know M, we know P. We know M, we know P. So that is, okay, 18 10 to the power of 6 divided by P, which will get you 100 mm. Okay, so that is shift of a pressure line from the central axis of the cable at midspan is 100 mm. Please note down. Next, calculating the stresses. So this is the formula P by A plus P dash by Z. So how to calculate this? How to calculate the E dash? So we know that A is equal to E plus E dash. So therefore E dash is equal to A minus E. So that is, we already calculated A, that is 100. That is 100 minus the eccentricity distance is 50. So hence E dash will become 50. What is that E dash meaning? Shift of pressure line from the central axis of the section is 50 mm. So that you need to substitute here. Okay, so that is, you know P, you know A, you know the pre-stressing force, E dash you know, and Z you know. Okay, so therefore the answer is 10 Newton per millimeter square. And also have been solved the same problem using the stress concept. You can see, you can compare. So as I stated in the examination, if they are not going to mention any method, you can solve either using stress concept, load balancing concept, or pressure line concept. You can use any method. So like that, okay, at the bottom, F inferior P by A minus P dash by Z, okay, which is equal to 0. Okay, so you need to be very careful while calculating this E dash. Okay, so now let me go with the quarter span. Let me go with the quarter span. So this will be your PSC beam. So this will be your PSC beam. So please note down. Okay, now it has been subjected to UDL of 4 kilonewton per meter. Now is asking a moment at or pressure line at quarter span. Hence, 1/4 of 6 is 1.5 meter. 1/4 of 6 is 1.5 meter. So at that particular point, I need to calculate the moment. Okay, so first, as we know, since the UDL is uniform, WL by 2, WL by 2. That is 4 into 6 by 2, that is 12 kilonewton. So this answer is, okay, 12 kilonewton. Okay, this answer is 12 kilonewton at both. Okay, at both the supports. So now let me go ahead with the moment calculation. So first consider this 12 multiplied by 1.5. 12 multiplied by 1.5, which is clockwise. Next, this 4, okay, 4, that is UDL, multiplied by this quarter span distance, L into L by 2, which is 13.5 kilonewton meter. So like this, we have been already calculated in stress concept. Same thing here calculated. Next, so we don't want this M by Z. Once again, okay, we need to calculate pressure line here. Okay, that is shift of pressure line from the cable line. So this is the moment at quarter span, that is 13.5 10 to the power of 6 divided by the pre-stressing force, which is 75 millimeter. So once again, same. Okay, this is stress concept. Okay, don't follow this. Okay, go with this formula. So first calculate the E dash because we want E dash. Okay, how to calculate E dash? We know the formula. Okay, E dash is equal to, we know, 100. Okay, sorry. At this particular point is 75. 75 minus eccentricity is 50. So therefore, E dash is equal to 25 millimeter. So hence, substitute this quantity here. Okay, substitute all other parameters which remain same both at previous. So which will get you F superior equal to, F superior is equal to 7.5 Newton per millimeter square and F inferior equal to 2.5 Newton per millimeter square. So now we have calculated the stresses. Now locate the pressure line. Very important. So now please observe here. So this is the PSC beam and this will be the central axis of this, okay, section. Now let me Draw the pressure line first. So this will be the pressure line. Okay. And as I stated, this will be the distance of shift. So this distance is A. This is A. Okay, at midspan. This is A at quarter span. So if you want to show E dash also, so this will be your E dash, sorry, this will be your E dash, okay, at quarter span from the central axis of the steel, that is, this will be your E dash. This is E dash at quarter span, this is E dash at mid span. So like this, we need to, okay, show the pressure line location, okay, from the PSCB, and also calculate the corresponding stresses. Okay, so hope the concept has been clarified. So I will repeat, okay, once again. Okay, first you calculate all the entities, that is A, I, Z, then calculate P by A, then calculate WD and WL, then calculate the A shift of pressure line, then calculate the stresses. So like this, you need to work out the problem in the examination. So in this particular problem, I have been asked both for quarter and midspan section. So and also have been located the corresponding pressure lines. So with this, okay, I'm going to end the session. Hope the concept has been clarified. Okay, so thank you. Okay,